Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Tiago Science Academy, and today I want to guide you on how to get your endpoint even without practical in this 2026 waec practical chemistry. Now, for you to get your endpoint, maybe you are in a school that has no enough equipment or reagents to carry out the titration exercise. This is what you're going to do to get your endpoint, and it's going to be very accurate. Now, the information we need to know to be able to get the endpoints, they are listed here. One, the information on the stock acid, which is H2SO4. Now, number one, the specific gravity, which is the relative density. Relative density is 1.84. Then the percentage purity is 98%. Then the volume of the stock acid you need to dissolve in 1 dm cube of distilled water. So this is the information contained in waec practical instruction. Now, you also need information on the stock base. The base is sodium hydroxide. So we have strong acid here and have strong base. The mass you are going to dissolve into 1 dm cube of distilled water is 4 grams. Then you need mole ratio equation to be able to calculate your end point. Now, let's now move on. Now, starting from the mole ratio equation, here is the concentration of the acid multiplied by volume of the acid, then all over concentration of the base multiplied by volume of the base. And that is equals to number of mole of acid all over number of mole of base. Now, this equation is mole ratio equation. Then what you need to know to be able to calculate the endpoint from this mole ratio equation? The concentration of the acid, then concentration of the base. So these are the two things you need to calculate. Then VA is going to give you the endpoint, which is the volume of the acid. It's going to give you the endpoint. That is going to be your average titer. Then volume of the base is going to give you the volume of the pipette to use, which can either be 20 cm cube or 25 cm cube. Then NA, the number of mole of acid, then and that of number of mole of base, you will obtain that from the stoichiometric equation of the neutralization reaction between tetraoxosulfate 6 acid and sodium hydroxide. So what do I need to calculate now? Concentration of the acid. So let's now calculate the concentration of the acid now from the information. Then also calculate the concentration of the base, still from the information. Then, and now fix everything into this mole ratio equation to get our VA. Your VA is your end point. Now, let's proceed on calculating the concentrations. Now, I need to calculate Ca, which is concentration of the acid. Concentration of the acid is going to give me number of mole of the acid all over volume. Now, volume is going to be in 1 dm cube. And of course, they say we should dissolve this quantity in 1 dm cube. So the only thing you need to calculate is this N, which is the number of moles. Then what is the number of moles? Number of moles is equals to mass all over molar mass. Mass all over molar mass. Now, what we need to calculate now is the mass. Then the molar mass of H2SO4, of course, is 98 grams per mole. So that one is not a problem. So how do we calculate the mass? Now from the information given to us. Now let's now start from the specific gravity, which is the relative density. Now, relative density of a substance is equals to density of that substance all over density of water. So that's it. Which means if I want to get the density of a substance, it is going to give me density of water multiplied by the relative density or specific gravity of that very particular substance. So density of H2SO4 is equals to density of water. Density of water is 1 gram per cm cube. Then multiplied by relative density. The relative density is 1.84. So the density of H2SO4 that we are going to use in the titration is going to be 1 multiplied by this will still give us 1.84, then gram per cm cube. So this is the density of H2SO4 required. Now, density is equals to mass all over volume. So which means if you make mass the subject of formula, you're going to multiply density by volume. So when we multiply the density of the acid by the volume of the acid, then we get the mass of the acid. And mind you, this mass is going to be mass of pure H2SO4. And we are still coming to that. So mass of H2SO4, that is mass of the stock, not mass of the pure acid. Now we give us the density of the acid, 1.84. Then multiply by the volume of that acid. The volume they say we should dissolve is 5.6. So we are going to have, let's now calculate that. So 1.84 multiplied by 5.6. So that's going to give us 10.304 gram. So this is the mass of impure acids, H2SO4. Now, for you to get the pure mass, you now come to the purity, the percentage purity. Percentage purity is 98%. So what does that mean? It means that in every 100 parts of the stock acid, 98 parts is pure, while the other two parts is impure. So to get the mass, we are going to use to calculate our N. Then we are going to have mass is equals to 98 all over 100, then multiply by 10.304. So that will give us, this is equal to, now we have, this divided by this is 0.98, then multiply by 10.304. So we have approximately 10.098. So we have 10.098 gram. So this is the mass of the pure H2SO4. Now from the pure H2SO4, the mass, we can now calculate the N. So that's it. So how do we now calculate the N? By dividing the pure mass. So N here is equals to, a pure mass is 10.098 divided by the molar mass. Molar mass of H2SO4 is 98. So N is equal to, then let's divide 10.098, then divided by 98, So that gives us, it gives us 0.1, then 0.3, approximately 0.3. So moles. And since it is going to be dissolved in 1 dm cube of distilled water, that means that the concentration of the acid is equals to 0.1103 mole per dm cube. So that is your Ca. Our Ca is 0.103, then multiply by Va, then over, now let's now calculate Cb. Cb is equals to number of mole of the base all over volume of the base. So let's calculate N first. N is the given mass all over molar mass. So that's it, the given mass over molar mass. So which means N, the number of moles of sodium hydroxide in the solution, is going to be 4 all over, that is the mass, all over molar mass. Molar mass of sodium hydroxide is 40. This divide this, we have 0.1 moles. And since it is going to be dissolved in 1 dm cube of distilled water, it means that the concentration of the base is going to be 0.1 mole per dm cube. So you have your Ca and have your Cb. So We now substitute CB here, 0.1, then multiply by volume of the base. VB is going to give me the volume of the pipette, which is going to be 25 cm cubed. So 25, then this is equal to, then to get your Na, then carry out this reaction, H2SO4, then aqueous, react with sodium hydroxide, then aqueous, then to produce salt. Salt is disodium tetraoxosulfate, so I need 2 here, then plus water, H2O. So that's it. Now we put 2 here to balance the reaction. So Na here is the number of mole of acid, which is 1. And Nb here is the number of mole of the base, which is 2. So this is equals to Na here is 1 all over Nb. Nb is 2. So that's it. Now we have our data complete. Then what we are calculating now is VA. VA, which is the volume of the acid. Now let's cross multiply. So if we cross multiply, we are going to have here 2 multiplied by this, that will give us 2 times this will give us 0.206 VA. So, and that is equal to, then 1 times this, that will give us 2.5. So that's it. So our VA is going to be 2.5 all over 0.206. So your VA is going to give you. Now let's calculate the VA. Now 2.5 divided by 0.206. So that will give us 12.14 approximately. So 12.14 cm cube. This is your endpoint. This is going to give you your endpoint. Then in the next video, I'm going to show you how to manipulate your table. Then you manipulate it and vary the reading so that if you have groups of students, you can share those tables to them. The average titer, which is the endpoint, is going to be the same for all the group, but the group data vary. So it's going to vary so that they will not know about it. Thank you. Please like this video, follow, and turn on the notification bell so that anytime I upload any video, then you'll be notified of it. Thank you. Bye-bye.